Ladies and gentlemen, introducing our officials for this match, our first referee, Bobby Celso, national referee. The second referee is Erlindo Eusebio, national referee. And now let's meet the starters. First, for the Farm Fresh Foxies. Center from Adamson University, number 7, team captain Louis Romero. Outside spiker also from Adamson, number 9, Kate Santiago. Outside spiker from the National University, number 10, Ginny Arroyo. Opposite hitter from Adamson, number 12, Trisha Tubu. Middle blocker from Adamson, number 13, April Tagsip. Middle blocker from Adamson, number 16, Riza Cruz. Starting libero from NU, number 17, Janelle Delerio. And the head coach for Farm Fresh is Jerry Yee. And now the starters for the Akari Chargers. Center from De La Salle University, number 6, team captain Michelle Cobb. Outside spiker from San Sebastian College, Recoletos, number 5, Gretzel Soltones. Outside spiker from the Ateneo de Manila University, number 11, Erica Raagas. Middle blocker from the Far Eastern University, number 13, Seth Domingo. Middle blocker from La Salle, number 14, Fifi Sharma. Opposite hitter from Adamson University, number 24, Ellie Soyud. Starting libero also from Adamson, number 1, Bang Pineda. Head coach for Akari is Rafi Mosuela. This game is held under the supervision and regulation of the Game 70 Swiss Board. And it's Farm Fresh versus Akari. This is the PVL, the heart of volleyball.
Let's check out the starters for the Farm Fresh Foxies. You have Cruz, Santiago, Romero, Delerio, Arroyo, Tubu, and Tagsip for the Foxies. Meanwhile, lipat tayo sa kabila for the Akari Chargers. You have Sharma, Soyud, Cobb, Domingo. We also have Soltones, Bang Pineda as their libero, and Sed Domingo, the other middle blocker. As we are set to begin this matchup between the Akari Chargers and the Farm Fresh Foxies. Thank you for joining us over on Pilipinas Live on One Sports and on One Sports Plus. Dip Dipianco alongside Jamie La Victoria calling this match. And our courtside reporter is Lexi Rodriguez, who will deliver the reports on both ends of the floor. We've talked about where these two teams are at. Jamie, not the best start right now for Akari, but you saw some glimpses of what they can do here in this conference. We talked about, in particular, Fifi Sharma and how she's getting more comfortable with her team.
That's right, and you see the connection she has with both Jaja Maraguinot and Michelle Cobb as their setter. But I've had a chance to cover and watch Akari, and we have Erica Raagas now in the mix here starting. This is her first time playing in this conference so far. Yeah. So maybe this is the mix that can help their team today.
Akari in white and the Foxies in orange. For Farm Fresh, they're looking to build on that last win against Capital One. Both of these teams have also faced the defending champions, the Creamline Cool Smashers.
Right.
And both of them won a set each.
Yep, that was an intense match against the Farm Fresh Foxies. I believe the first set went 34-36, 36 in that one.
That was a very long set. It happened back in Feb 24. Creamline taking that one. Meanwhile, battle at the net.
And also, Dip, we have Ellie Soyud starting. Normally, it's Mama D who would start. So I think Mama D would probably go in for that double substitution later on if it's needed.
A bit of a change for Coach Rafi Mosuela. Trying to maybe change it up a bit after two losses, diba? Para maiba yung simula for the Akari Chargers. They get their first point as Domingo will serve for Akari. That's short.
And also with Sed Domingo, she's still trying to find her foot here, I would say. in Akari. I mean, this is not a surprise because this is her first time, a different shade of pink we have here now that she's in Akari.
And we know that she didn't have a lot of time training with them because straight from Thailand, she came back just recently also joining this team. Meanwhile, Soyud getting that point for Akari.
Now let's see this great ball here above the block of the Farm Fresh Foxies. Now, we talked about the Farm Fresh Foxies earlier and how Trisha Tubo is just one of the best playmakers here in the league. She is very sure of her movement. She knows the patterns, the tendencies also of her spikers.
And that one works for Kate Santiago as we send this to Lexi Rodriguez for this report. Lexi?
Dip and Jamie, I know we've got a few classmates or Adamson alumni from both sides of the net today, but we won't be seeing action from Trisha Genesis of the Akari Chargers. Now, their PT told me that she suffered a minor shoulder tear in their training, and Coach Rafi Musuela opted that she sat out on today's game. Now, obviously, the Chargers still has other players to utilize, like Gretch Soltones, Faith, and Didin Santiago Manabat, but Coach Rafi says it's still unfortunate that she won't be in today's matchup against the Farm Fresh Foxies. Now, this report is brought to you by the Philippines Live app, where you can watch the PVL anytime and anywhere in the world. Now back to you, Dip and Jamie.
Thank you, Lexi, for that update. Well, there will be no Trisha Genesis for Akari, but we know that she can bring on the energy from the bench.
Yes, she is the magic bunot, I would say, for the Akari Chargers. But, I mean, you'd rather have her rest.
Yeah.
Right?
Habang maaga pa, no?
Yes.
It's a long conference ahead.
Rather be safe.
Tubu, that was picked up by the Chargers. Soltones will go up. And she scores off the block.
That's a smart play by Gretchen Soltones. She is one of the veterans here. She's new to the mix of Akari. Now let's see that replay. Touching the hands of Cruz. And I think adding Gretchen Soltones is perfect for Akari. They need that go-to spiker. They need that vet that can lead the team.
4-all here in set number 1. Romero, back sets to Tubu, sent back. Nilipat sa kabila kay Santiago. Easy pickup by Pineda. The 1-2. Arroyo reads it perfectly. Santiago again. And it's blocked.
Blocked by Fifi Sharma. Cape Santiago, she is a lefty open spiker there. So she's probably going to go down the line or cross, but that press of that block of Fifi Sharma. Perfection in that rally.
Fifi Sharma is actually top 10. 7th to be exact in blocking so far in the early goings of this tournament. Attack error for Tubu means Akari is now up by 2 points.
I mean, Farm Fresh is a little bit silent, I would say, in this first set. But we do have a substitution here. Bertolano in for Kate.
Well, we've seen Kate getting checked early on by the blockers of Akari.
Which just goes to show that Akari did their homework. They prepared for the heavy hitters here of the Farm Fresh Foxies.
It's a 4-0 run so far for the white shirts. Romero to Cruz. Akari not letting a point. Except for that error, giving a free point to the Foxies.
So Michelle Cobb tried to do that also earlier this first set, setting it over in zone 5, but a little bit overcooked in that sequence.
5 serving 6 here in set 1. Cobb back sets to Sharma, and that's a point.
I mean, when you have a perfect pass, you're able to execute the middle blockers here in this first attack.
This spike of the set is brought to you by Dunkin' Pasalubong ng Bayan.
See the block a little bit late. Riza Cruz.
Chance here for the Foxies. Bertolano gets a crack at it. Sharma gets a touch. Free ball given up. Romero chooses Bertolano again, and it's sent back by Domingo.
The blocking party on the side of Akari. You have said Domingo, one of the best middle blockers here in this conference. Perfect form.
As we get to this first technical timeout, the Chargers up by 3. Back inside the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig. Arena Plus, astig sa sports as we resume play. 2 out of the 8 points of Akari coming off their blocks, Jamie, and it will be dangerous if they get to activate their defense between Fifi Sharma and Sed Domingo.
That's right, Farm Fresh. They are being blocked on the left pin, which just goes to show that they did do their homework. And I mean, Akari has not won a game this entire conference, and they want to win at least one game just so they could boost their confidence.
And it might lead to those types of attacks, like Bertolano committing that error, probably a bit hesitant with the blockers of the Chargers.
That's right. She was probably avoiding their hand, but there was a lack of wrist action in that rally.
We saw Carlos Sharma, dad of Fifi, watching and supporting. Farm Fresh able to stop the bleeding.
I mean, gotta give credit to Louis Romero. She sees that her team is down by 3 points, but she's smart in starting that combination play right away to get that side out.
6 serving 9 here in the first set. Bertolano on deck. Cobb, inangat kay Soltones. Greshel scores.
I mean, Michelle Cobb going to the veteran open spiker. That was a beautiful set, a jump set by Michelle Cobb. And of course, Gretchen Soltones, the Lady Beast, maximizing on Louis Romero. She's not the tallest of setters, so I see the strategy that Cobb has in that sequence.
Gretchen scored 10 points in that previous game against Creamline. So far, she has 2 already. Chini Arroyo, we mentioned her a while ago.
Yep. I mean, breakout match against Capital One. But there she goes for that down the line. Raga's a little bit late.
Seven serving 10. Cobb upset to Domingo. And down it goes for Sed.
You know, you see the excitement of Michelle Cobb and Domingo because in the last few matches, they've been trying to perfect this B-quick attack here, but no block. Louis wasn't there for the block, but they did master that B-quick attack.
11-7 is the score. That's almost an ace, but kept alive by Farm Fresh. Coach Rafi asking for a lift. It turns into an error for Eli Soyud.
Elisoyu trying to go for the down the line, but a lack of wrist action in that rally. But I think the first 6 here, I mean, we saw changes in the lineup. I think it's working well for Akari.
And
Elisoyu now, you have Erica Raagas making a great impact in this match.
And they're sticking with the same starters. Why not? Because they have a 4-point lead.
Yep. Nice serve.
Romero back sets. And it's through for Chini Arroyo.
Chini Arroyo really maximizing this opportunity here with the Foxies. It's a beautiful reverse set by Louis Romero.
Arroyo heads to the service line. Her team down by 3. There's a violation on Akari on the rotation.
I mean, these types of breaks of the game can disrupt your rhythm, I would say. So it's best as possible to just control what you can control. I mean, you are up by 2 points. This could be that spark that Farm Fresh might need.
And another error there, so Farm Fresh is within the point.
It's very important that the Foxies maintain this momentum. They had a slow start, I would say, in this first set. A little lack of urgency, I would say, compared to their other matches.
This is what you were saying, right? That error probably got into their heads.
Yes.
But they get back on that point from Soyud.
I mean, both teams, I mean, with the single round robin, you want to rack up as many wins as possible now because only the top 4 teams will head on to the semifinals.
We can say it's a long conference because these teams will meet each other, but for these squads playing.
Yes.
Maikli lang yan because once
Exactly.
you get a loss, of course, you want to keep racking up the wins right after. And we have a lot of competitive teams right now.
That's right. Eric Aragas going down the line. That was a clean attack. Did not see the block there on the side of the Farm Fresh Foxies. Let's see that replay. Trisha Tubu almost there. If she had taken a step to the right, side step, she would have gotten that block on Raagas.
Good serve for Soyo, the heavy one. Leads to a Tubu attack. Coverage for Bertolano. Back to Tubu. Second try is good.
No, I like the strategy of Louis Romero. When her spikers get blocked, she still gives them another chance to redeem themselves, giving them confidence. This team is one of the youngest teams here we have in the PVL, but the way they play, there's so much maturity in these girls.
Cobb chasing that one, but Raga sending that short. And Farm Fresh is again just down by one.
See, Raga is trying to go for that off-speed cut shot. But Dip, you were saying earlier, with these two teams, they want to rack up the wins now because they both had 2 losses.
Yeah.
So any win is beneficial. I mean, one.
Yeah, for Farm Fresh. But if you're Akari right now, Jamie, do you sort of feel like an urgency na, or okay, we really have to win this third one? Otherwise, it will spell trouble once you lose 3 straight.
Yep, I mean, when you haven't won a match yet, that's the more that you play for your teammates, the more motivation you have to win. I mean, it's all or nothing at this point.
Tubu going cross court, and it's outside. And we reach.
Yep, a challenge on. Oh, that's a second technical timeout, rather.
Akari up by 3 points. Philippine Cup, all games live dito sa RPTV para sa Pinoy. We take a look at some of the Farm Fresh Foxies who are on the sidelines. Julina de la Cruz, Lorin Toring also waiting in the wings.
Right.
Both of them recovering from their injuries. Oh, you can't wait to see them on the court.
Yep. I mean, they have so much urgency, I bet, to play. I mean, when they watch games, they want to be on the court as well.
It's a 4-point lead right now for the Chargers with Raaga serving. A bit close to the net. Kept alive by the Chargers. It's back with Farm Fresh. Back set. Viray now in the game. Sharma. Bit of a long rally we're having here. Soltones. Yes.
Take a look at the defensive pattern here on the Farm Fresh Foxies. I mean, Gretchen Soltones was going for that cross-court attack, but Bertolano was not there. She just needs to take that step back. But I mean, now we have Caitlin Viray on in for Tubu here, former Chocomucho Flying Titan, who has a huge range of experience.
Right. She was in the finals last conference with her former team. Good dig by Arroyo. Romero bumps it to Viray. Pineda with a save. Soyud waits for the ball. Oh, and it drops.
See a miscue here between Romero. Very rare sights, I would say, for the Foxies.
And it's a 6-point advantage now for Akari, which prompts Coach Jerry to call for time.
block all touch してるからで after back you can enough time ね don't go inside don't go inside ね all block touch speed lost of speed can be see okay 大丈夫 no problem いこう今からスタートイン
Laban lang mga yan! Let's go! Isa! Hey, 1, 2, 3!
Mr. Ricky Palou, of course, of Sports Vision, always in attendance.
Coach Minoa also on your screens.
Scouting.
Still serving for the Chargers, Erica Raagas.
6-point lead for the Chargers, who are looking comfortable here in set 1. And the Foxy struggles continue.
This is not the usual play, I would say, for the Farm Fresh Foxies dip. There's a lot of hesitation going on their side. But, I mean, Akari will definitely maximize this.
Seven-point cushion right now for the Chargers. 20-13. Naibalik yung atake ni Viray. Cruz will send a high free ball. Cobb gives it to Sharma. Saved by Delerio. Pineda does the same for Akari. Soltones rises up. And the drop.
Smart play by Gretchen Soltones, one of the more versatile open spikers here in this conference. She goes down the line, cross. We're going for that power dump, fooling the defense of the Farm Fresh Foxies. We now have Pia Ildefonso fielded in this first set.
And Soltones has established herself early in the game. She has 5 points. So it will be a bit harder to read, no?
Right.
Her attacks. But that error of Raagas allows Farm Fresh to get a point. You see Coach Jerry, shuffling already a lot of his players, trying to figure out the right
Mix.
Yep.
And actually, that was the issue that Akari had in the past matches. Coach Rafi couldn't find that perfect mix, but Coach Jerry also does not have a lot of subs all the time. He usually sticks with the first 6 unless he goes for that double sub, but his team is down by a huge load.
Yeah,
so.
that is big. 8 points. Bertolano. There's a check.
Check ball for Bertolano. Trailing behind here, the Farm Fresh Foxies, but I gotta give credit to Akari for their great blocking. I mean, because of the great blocking, it's important that the Foxies maximize on that coverage.
Good first ball by Soltones, but she is rejected.
Luisa Cruz with that perfect block on Gretchen Soltones.
Still a 6-point lead for Akari. Cobb on the 1-2. Viray was there for the pickup. Ildefonso on the soft touch. Chance here once again for Farm Fresh. P again. Bertolano keeps it alive. Domingo with a placement. P on the 3rd. Still playable. And it's a point, a hard-earned point for Farm Fresh.
Greatly earned on the side of the Farm Fresh Foxies. We did hear that check ball on that running attack by Cruz. I mean, her classic running attack that's been developed over time ever since Adamson.
5 points down. Soyud has 4 already. In this game that's outside, and the lead is just down to 4 points. Coach Rafi Mosuela will call for time.
Pura tayo. Abantihan mo ha. Erika, receive mo dito ha. Ngayon pagka alanganin ng receive, dito ka sa pink. Pink, alam mo ha? Okay? Great. Kaya mo to. Pink. Pahiwalayin mo. Huwag ka mag-play muna dito. Ang MB pwede mong ganin. Pero ngayon, okay na yung play. Okay, go. One stop ha, one stop. Go.
Dip, I like how Coach Rafi gave specific instructions to Michelle Cobb, specific play in order to get that side out. Usually you'll have that motivational timeout, but when you want to establish this first set win, you got to go technical with the specifics.
Let's see how they will respond after that timeout. Soltones had to wait. Oh, a miscue between Romero and Viray.
I mean, they are new teammates with Viray and Romero. This is something that will happen. I mean, miscommunications here and there, but the ball was actually still high that you still get that first touch.
And I don't think Louis wanted to go for that because she was waiting to set it up.
Right.
Michelle Cobb serving. Her team just 2 points away from taking the opening set. Ildefonso has been getting the touches. And finally, she gets one to go.
Pia laughing it off, going for that cross-court attack with the help of the net in that rally. But I mean, a point is a point.
Cobb setting up Soyud.
It's a beautiful set by Michelle Cobb. The receive was a little too tight for her, but with skills like that, you're actually supposed to jump set before the ball actually gets to the net. See the block a little bit late from the Foxies.
Soyud now has 5 points, right behind Soltones, who served. She's got 6. Chance for Akari. And Soyud gets set number 1 for the Akari Chargers.
Targeting that zone 6. See the defensive pattern here of the Farm Fresh Foxies. Little miscues here in this first set. Let's see that replay.
That was Soltones, one of her many attacks in this set. Again, she has 6. She and Ellie Soyud actually both combining for 12 points early on in this match. We'll give you set number 2 right after this. Back inside the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig, you're still watching the Premier Volleyball League All-Filipino Conference, and this matchup between Akari and Farm Fresh. The Chargers taking set number 1, 25-19. Jamie, please break down the numbers for us in that opening set.
We'll take a look at the disparity of attacks here. 17 on the side of Akari and 9 from the Farm Fresh Foxies. Great blocks here by the Akari Chargers with 2. I mean, also the timing of the blocks, but a lot of the points of the Farm Fresh Foxies, a lot of the attacks are not being converted into points. And what's not shown on your screens is the timing of the blocks. Remember the two blocks that they had in the first set, that was the momentum shift that we saw. But it's all smiles so far on the side of the Akari Chargers. But we now have J-Cell starting, Pia starting, and Caitlin Varai starting. So a lot of changes here early on for the Foxies.
Set number 2 underway here on One Sports Plus, and Pilipinas Live. Dip Dipianco with Jamie La Victoria for this match, and Lexi Rodriguez is our courtside reporter. First point goes to the Chargers. If you're Coach Jerry and Farm Fresh, what are you looking at for the adjustments in this set?
I think it just boils down to communication. We see a lot of the players just looking at each other. Also, more urgency, more willingness to win, because Akari is playing like it's like the championship match for Akari, because they want to get that first win.
They know that they have to get that win. Otherwise, it'll be hard to, I mean, 3 straight losses, then you play
it's hard.
7 more, I believe, right? So, and you've yet to face some of the bigger teams.
Harder teams,
Yep. Oh, there's a challenge on the floor. Akari is asking for a block touch challenge on that previous play.
More urgency with Akari. They're smiling more fluidity, I would say, from the Akari Chargers compared to their last matches. There's a block touch.
There's none.
Clean attack going outside.
Way above the hands of J-Cell de los Reyes.
Akari still has 1 more challenge remaining in this set.
So 1 challenge gone for Akari early on in this set. Cobb sets it up to Seth Domingo.
See Michelle Cobb really activating her middle blockers here on that first attack, going for that back quick attack. And you can see that with all the hours of training every day, they're slowly getting the chemistry that they need for their team. Nice serve.
Good first ball by Ildefonso leads to the Viray attack, but another block.
And of course, we have Seth Domingo in the front row. It's a block party for the Akari Chargers on Caitlin Varai.
That is
coverage as well.
Her second block of the match. Farm Fresh going to Bertolano. Raagas with all the power of that spike.
I mean, I've been teammates with Erica back in UAP in Ateneo, and I could see the growth in her play, the maturity as well. One of the most hardworking players here in the PVL. Nice serve.
Easy over. Cobb upset again to Raagas. The take by Ildefonso, but that attack difficult to control.
Now we see the strategy here of the Akari Chargers. They are serving much harder, but let's take a look at that replay. Raagas going down the line, but we have Gretchel here at the service line. They are serving much harder than usual, which is actually disrupting the offense of the Foxies.
The dig by Pineda. Soyud on the off speed. Ildefonso was there. Romero goes to Tubu on that familiar connection.
We have Trisha Tubu back in, going for that cross-court attack. Beautiful dig by Pia.
Pinahinga lang no, ng saglit ni Coach Jerry. Three-point lead for Akari. Set a bit too low for Sed. Transfers to Soyud. Tubu. Gets that one. Oh, and it drops on the side of Akari.
I mean, it actually looked like the ball was on the other side of Farm Fresh. That is why Ellie Soyud went up for that block.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it dropped in between her and the net.
Misreading that one, and Farm Fresh, they're just down by 2 points. De Los Reyes serving. Cobb to Soyud. Popped up by Romero. Oh, and Tubu was unaware where the ball was.
Well, Luis Romero was getting that first dig, but no communication from the Foxies.
Let's send this first to Lexi Rodriguez for this report. Lexi?
Thanks, Dip and Jamie. Well, that first set didn't quite match the vision the Foxies had in mind coming into this match. And Jamie, as you mentioned, we started this set without their top scorer last game, Chini Arroyo, and that's because Coach Jerry wanted to utilize other players and see if they could influence things more positively. Now, Jamie, you also mentioned that they need to act more aggressively this time around, and this was Master Shimizu is also demanding from the team as well. Now, Chini says that Master Shimizu is a perfectionist, and in times like this, they need to stay composed and stick to what they're working on during training. Now, this report is brought to you by the Pilipinas Live app, where you can watch a PVL anytime and anywhere in the world. Now, back to you, Dip and Jamie.
Thank you, Lexi, for that report. Well, it's always good when you have a mentor, coach that strives for perfection, right?
That's right.
You always want to learn from the best.
That's right. I mean, having that Japanese system, a system that pays very close attention to detail. I mean, Farm Fresh, they have that high standard.
Yeah. So far, it's Akari setting the standard here in this match. They're up by 5. Back inside the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig. And Akari continuing to put in the points.
Gotta give kudos to Fifi Sharma. I mean, with that beautiful block.
As we take a look at Mrs. Kathy Tiu Tan, EVP of Akari. Service is short for Sed Domingo. And those errors are the ones allowing Farm Fresh to get points, no? Whenever they're having a hard time stopping the run.
You see the Farm Fresh Foxies, not their usual self, still trying to find their groove. As for Akari, they're moving with a lot of urgency in this game.
Farm Fresh goes back-to-back points to cut the lead down to 4. Trisha Tubu will be the one to serve. Soyud waits for it. Oh, but someone touched the net.
Net touch.
Looks like it's Alyssa Bertolano, caught by our second referee.
But I believe Farm Fresh will call a challenge here, net touch.
Well, let's see if this will be successful for Farm Fresh. They want to capitalize on that back-to-back points, trying to make it 3 straight. But there was a whistle saying that Bertolano, I believe, hit the net.
Yep. You know what I noticed here with Akari, their serves are much harder than their past games, which is allowing Farm Fresh. I mean, their first ball is usually stable, but in this game, the receive is a little too off the net or too on the net. That's
Yeah.
why Louis Romero is having a difficult time running her offense smoothly.
Meanwhile, for Akari, total opposite, right? Pineda, Sultones,
yeah.
they're doing a good job on the back end, getting those first balls.
Really stabilizing the first ball, the receive. Let's see the verdict here.
I think that elbow of Bertolano grazing the net.
Touching the net, that's right. Maybe also her jersey, I think,
Yeah,
after she went down to block.
her elbow, her arm. And it will be unsuccessful for Farm Fresh. So point goes to the Chargers. One challenge left for both teams in this set.
Nice serve.
Oh, you called it.
That's a floater serve by Ellie Soyud.
Jamie knows what a good serve is when she sees one.
The floater serves actually move in the air. So it's very important to have your forearms stabilized.
And Sulton is loving it with a shimmy on that celebration. Another good serve, which leads to a free ball for Akari. They go to Sharma on the runner. Romero back sets. And Riza Cruz showing how it's done.
Counter-attack there with that running attack. I mean, it's coming from a free ball, but Louis Romero maximizing Riza Cruz. She is the front row. She's one of the vet middle blockers here on her squad. I mean, Farm Fresh down 5 points.
Cobb
I said,
goes to Raagas. Going down the line.
it's a beautiful set by Michelle Cobb, giving Raagas that hitting point. Raagas doing well. She did not play in their last match.
And you also have to credit the reception, really, of Akari, right? That allows the good everything,
Yeah.
set up the execution.
That's right. I mean, when you have that perfect play, that perfect dig, rather, you're able to execute your offense. But Farm Fresh having a difficult time with the serve so far of Akari.
That's the second ace of Akari in this set. That one coming from Erika Raagas, who, again, we mentioned, didn't see action in the first 2 games, but really, Jamie, we can feel her presence here in the third game.
I mean, she's fielded in for a reason. She is supposed to make an impact for her squad, and Coach Rafi just giving her this opportunity, and Raagas taking it.
Oh, what a dig by Pineda. Sultones gives it up to Farm Fresh.
Nice hit.
Ildefonso. Bang has been working extra hard here for the Chargers. A bit too high. Raagas picks it up. Cobb transfers to Soyud. Long rally, good defense for the Chargers. And it leads to that point.
I mean, that's a beautiful rally, beautiful defense by both squads, but Fifi Sharma shutting it down with that block. Actually, it was Michelle Cobb. Not the tallest of setters, but she can block. She has that leap ever since her college days.
Yeah, we know that she has good timing too. And the lead has now ballooned to 8 points for Akari.
We also have Kate back in the second set.
Yep. And this is what we're saying, right? Yung mga service area, yung
Right.
tumitigil sa runs ng Akari.
Disrupting their rhythm, and I mean, this could be the spark that the Farm Fresh Foxies need. But you see Coach Jerry switching the first 6 many times, which
Yeah.
has benefits, but it also has some cons, I would say, because there's not an established 6 on the court.
And Sharma gets that point.
With that running attack, we did talk about her. We did feature her in the pregame, but Michelle Cobb doing a great job of activating her middle blockers and not being too predictable with her offense.
Fifi is now serving 15-7. Romero goes to Tubu. Another miscue there. And Cobb wins that joust.
Michelle Cobb winning that joust on Giselle De Los Reyes in that sequence.
You can't let her size fool you. Look at that. One hand against the two hands of Giselle De Los Reyes. And winning that one, that move was brought to you by the Honda motorcycle. And we go to this timeout. Back inside the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig, you're still watching this matchup between the Akari Chargers and the Farm Fresh Foxies. Danny Ravenna of Next Led Chameleons watching this game. It's a 9-point lead for Akari. Fifi Sharma with 4 points. Had 14 in that last game against Creamline.
Net touch by Michelle Cobb.
And I think her teammates pointed it out too.
Let's see that replay. Yeah, very obvious net touch there.
Goes to Soltones, kept alive by Farm Fresh. Domingo puts it away.
Michelle Cobb fielding in. Set Domingo with that beautiful be-quick attack. There's a space in that block between Tubu and Giselle. There's a lack of unison, I would say, in that block.
And 2 thumbs up, which means approve yung set na yun for Seth Domingo. 17-8.
Nice serve.
Tubu goes up. Picked up by Ragas. Here comes Soltones again.
You could just hear the impact of the ball on the hand of Gretchen Soltones, powering through that block. But also, Michelle Cobb, very steady setting. And in the past few matches, sometimes Jaja would go in for Cobb or vice versa. So you see Coach Shafi sticking with this first 6. And Dip, mind you, we have Faith, she's not even on the court, and Mama D. What more if they're fielded in?
That's right.
Nice set.
Short rotation so far for Coach Shafi Mosuela, and Danny Soyud also scoring. Rosie Ravenna very happy with what she is seeing on the part of Akari. It's an 11-point lead for the Chargers. Another timeout for Farm Fresh.
E di lumabang lang kayo, walang first ball, di paluin niyo yung long ball. Ano bang problema?
Out of system, tsaga.
Palo kayong mahaba, anong problema? Pimili pa kayo.
Hey, 1, 2, 3!
Dip, it's very rare for Coach Jerry to speak during timeouts.
Yeah.
But what he was saying, what Louis was saying, if there's no first ball, the Sparkers have to make that adjustment of going for that long ball. That is why Louis Romero told the wing Sparkers to work much harder, because if it's an out-of-system play, the ball will obviously go to the pins.
And don't force the issue, diba?
Right.
And they respond well after that timeout, but still a mountain to climb. Down by 10 points, itong Foxies.
And the Foxies are coming from a great win from Capital One. So
Yeah.
in the pregame earlier, I was mentioning that both teams are hungry to win, but you can see the difference here in body language between Akari and the Foxies.
10 serving 19, and as coaches would say, the game doesn't end until you reach 25, right? So if
Right.
you're Farm Fresh, you keep fighting for every point
Until it's over.
and possibly get momentum heading into the next set, regardless of who will get this one.
That's right.
Oh, and Tubu. When she wakes up, it
Yeah.
can be dangerous.
I mean, Trisha Tubu, that was a perfect attack here. Just avoiding the blocking.
This spike of the set is brought to you by Duncan Pasalubong ng Bayan. Number 7 in scoring. Itong si Trisha Tubu with 34 points heading to this game. Continuing to add to that, as well as Sultones for Akari.
And mind you, Sultones came from the right pin in that sequence.
Oh, look at that.
I mean, down the line, but if Kate had stepped left, one step left, she would have gotten that block.
The Chargers with another ace, courtesy of Sultones. And it's back up to a 10-point lead.
It's a great serve by Sultones targeting the Foxies. I can see Louis Romero trying to boost the confidence of her squad. She's been running everywhere from the first balls.
Max Swanko is now in the game for the Chargers, by the way. She gets that second ball, upset to Soyud. Romero goes middle to De Los Reyes, and it is set back.
Easily read by Sed Domingo. Louis Romero trying to go for that quick attack on Giselle De Los Reyes.
That is the third block of Sed Domingo. And you take a look at Trisha Genesis, who's not suited up for this match. Tubu, bit close to the net. And that's hard for her to work with.
This is not the usual play of the Farm Fresh Foxies, but you see Akari maximizing their strength, which is their serves.
Doon nagsisimula, you know, it's
The serve.
making it hard for Farm Fresh. And that one too long for Sultones. But they only need 2 points to get a 2-set advantage. De Los Reyes will be the one to serve for Farm Fresh. Oh,
Going inside.
all of a sudden it
Yep,
dropped.
It dropped, yep. I actually thought it was going outside.
Biglang nalaglag eh.
Good serve by Jason.
Juanco unable to read that one. This time they pick it up. Cobb goes to Domingo. Had to adjust. Tubu waits for it on the off speed. Raagas. Naibalik. Soyud. The push. Romero goes to Santiago. Saved by Louis. Cobb on the back set to Soyud. And she scores off the block.
Smart play by Ellie Soyud. Off the block in that sequence. All smiles here from the Akari Chargers. But the first ball of the Foxies is a bit unstable in this match.
That was excellent coverage for both teams in that sequence. Akari is now at set point. Santiago saves it.
I mean, when you're wing spire on the Farm Fresh Foxies, you have to double time. But Kate powering through that block of Akari.
Cobb goes to Raagas. Back-to-back points for Farm Fresh.
See the Farm Fresh Foxies still trailing behind, but it's not over, like you said, Dip, until a team reaches 25.
Cobb goes to Sharma. Back with the white shirts, Swanko. Sultones from the back. And it goes in.
Gretchen Sultones finishing off that second set with the back row attack.
Soyud and Sultones teaming up. That serve from Ellie. One of the aces from this set. And we talked about how they're leading the charge for Akari. Ellie now with 11. And Getchell with 10 points to lead the scoring for Akari Chargers. They're up 2-0. Back inside the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig, you're still catching the PVL All-Filipino Conference. The Akari Chargers up 2-0. That set 2 was a more comfortable win over the Foxies as we take a look at the highlights of what happened. What changed for Akari in that set that allowed them to have a bigger cushion in that set?
Well, Michelle Cobb fielding in Gretchen Soltones, Ali Soyut, the veteran spikers on the side of the Akari Chargers, rather. Also, Raagas doing a great job spiking down the line, avoiding the defense of the Foxies. Now, on the side of the Foxies, their first ball needs to be a little bit more stable in order for them to run their offense smoothly. As we see the set 2 stats on your screens, take a look again at the disparity of attacks. 15 on the side of Akari and only 6 on the side of the Farm Fresh Foxies. Akari having 3 more blocks than the Farm Fresh Foxies. Now, we heard Louis Romero talk during the timeout. The wing spikers need to work double time because a lot of the serves of the Akari Chargers are very tough, and Louis Romero is having to go for a bump set.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a given when you bump set. It's a bump set to the wing spikers. So it's either Kate, Trisha, Arroyo who need to step up in this third set.
Coach Jerry has already tried a lot of
Right.
mixing and matching with his 6 on the floor. But I think for this one, he will go to his starters and see what they can do to try and salvage this match. For the Foxies, it's Trisha Tubu with 6 points and not much supporting cast para sa kanya. I know these guys. On the left is Jack Palu, is the son of Mr. Ricky Palu, and Timothy Tan of Akari, who happens to be my batchmate. Kaya kilala ko sila. Both of those guys are my batchmates. So set 3 underway. You're still watching us on Pilipinas Live, One Sports, and on One Sports Plus. Dip Dipianco with Jamie La Vitoria and Lexi Rodriguez, broadcast team for this match. Not the way you want to start set number 3 if you're Farm Fresh.
Mr. We have Coach Jerry here, already shaking his head.
Although during the break, what people didn't hear when they were huddling, they had more energy, nagsisigaw sa trying to pump each other up. Even the crowd right now, if you can see the people in orange in the stands, they're trying to cheer on itong Foxies and change the complexion of this game. Eli Soyud, leading scorer for Akari with 11. Tubu with 6. Raagas on that drop. Tagsip, nothing there. Soyud on the off speed.
Just smart plays by Eli Soyud. Coach Rafi had to make an adjustment before entering this match against the Foxies, and he fielded in Eli Soyud. Usually Mamadi would start, but Eli Soyud being that spark plug, well, misserved by Eli Soyud. But I think Coach Rafi is doing a good job of sticking with his first 6.
I wonder what Coach Rafi saw. There must have been something in training because
A click, some click.
Soyud had 3 points in that first game against Signal off the bench. Only 3 points. Last game against Green 9, she scored 1 point off the bench. So for Coach Rafi to say, hey, I'm gonna start you this game, and then she does this, she must have done something right. And this spike of the set is brought to you by Dunkin, pasalubong ng bayan.
I mean, she's taking the challenge of starting this match against the Foxies, but Coach Rafi, I think he just wanted to have a complete new mix, a new mesh, I would say, for his squad.
A bit of an early celebration as that was still saved by the Foxies. This time, Sharma makes sure of it.
Fifi Sharma going for that back quick attack, and the set was a little bit too low for Sharma, but she was able to adjust. Kate Santiago was there, but I think she was rushing in that sequence.
Ay, nalagpasan niya yung bola. 4-2 is the score. Oh, and that drops for April Tagsip.
Tagsip going for that a quick attack, targeting the campfire zone.
Three serving 4 here in set 3. Soltones. It's a point for the Chargers as we send this to Lexi Rodriguez for this report. Lexi?
Thanks, Dip. Now, you guys mentioned that Eli Soyud and Rachel Soltones have been teaming up to keep the momentum on the big side of the court today. And now, even without Faith on the court, since she's feeling under the weather, Rachel Soltones shared to me that even if she's new to the team, she had to step up and be the ate to the team. Now, more than the skills and experience, she shared that she realized that maturity is something that the Akari Chargers are also trying to work on, highlighting the importance of both talent and leadership in their dynamic. Now, this report is brought to you by the Pilipinas Live app, where you can watch the PVL anytime and anywhere in the world. Now, back to you, Dip and Jamie.
Thank you, Lexi, for that report. So, Faith Nisperos on the bench, a bit under the weather. That's why she hasn't suited up. But for the Akari Chargers, it's a bit tricky for them because it's a mix of veterans, but you know that majority of them mas bata pa rin.
That's right. I mean, I think having vets and young players is a win, especially for Akari, because it's different experiences meshing into one team, different learnings. But I mean, the mix that's on the court right now is working for Akari.
Meanwhile, for Farm Fresh, obviously a lot of these players fresh out of college, more youngsters on the part of the Foxies.
And with the Farm Fresh Foxies, because they are young, they still have more maturity that they need, especially with instances like this. How will you go up against a team that is up 2-0?
Yeah. And you have players like Domingo, Soltones, who are unfazed, right? They've had the championship experience already.
Especially Seth Domingo, now wearing a different shade of pink.
Right. 13 excellent sets now for Michelle Cobb. Combination to Santiago. One of the rare times they've used that one.
Right. I mean, that's a clean hit by Kate. Take a look at that set. Louis waiting for Riza Cruz to jump and fooling the blocking, fooling Sed and Elisoyud in that rally.
Yeah. Left wide open. Soyud. Check there by Farm Fresh. Santiago again. This time on the off speed, changing it up.
Lack of miscommunication here by the Akari Chargers. Kate Santiago. I mean, having that split change of going for that drop ball, just smarts in that sequence.
Back-to-back points for her. Soltones. Farm Fresh playing better defense. The 1-2 of Romero, read by Pineda. And Soltones, just veteran moves.
I mean, she saw the hole in that block. Gretchen Soltones.
We reach the first technical timeout. Akari up by 2. Arena Plus, astig sa sports. Play continues here in set 3. Cobb. Nababa yung set na yun to Domingo, but play continues. At napatawag na rin ng challenge itong Farm Fresh. It seemed like the attack of said Domingo didn't go over.
Right, because the set was a little too low from Cobb.
But eventually, after naman nung, before the challenge, it was already supposed to be a point for Farm Fresh.
For Farm Fresh.
But also, they might just want to prove a point.
Yep.
And see that, hey, you should have given us that point a while ago.
Right.
And they're doing a better job here, Jamie. What is it that has changed for them in set 3?
Better attacking on the left pin from Kate and more urgency on the defensive aspect. Because in the first 2 sets, a lot of miscues, a lot of players looking at each other, not knowing who will get that first ball, the second ball, or even the third one. So, I mean, kudos to the Farm Fresh Foxies for fighting it out in this 3rd set.
And maybe if Tubu gets checked, no, you need a backup, and Santiago is stepping up.
Right, right.
He's got 2 points in this set, talking about Kate Santiago.
It can't be a one-man team. It can't only be Kate.
Right. See, that was short for set Domingo. So it's a point for Farm Fresh. They get to keep their challenge and prove their point.
Yep. Bragging rights, I guess.
7-8 in the 3rd set. Mabigat yung serve na yun. Cobb telling Bang to send it over. And Cruz with a runner.
Now this is the running attack that the Foxies have been waiting for. And a free ball from the Akari Chargers, but I mean this play of the running attack between Louis and Risa, perfection.
Another good serve by Santiago. Cobb goes back to Ragas. Picked up easily by Lazo. And then the point for Chini Arroyo. And Farm Fresh takes the lead. This run will force Akari to call for time.
Yan sa tayo. Doon sa akala natin mag-e-error ang kanila. Umaasa na tayo sa ganon, di ba? Again, mabubuhayan sila. Di ba? Ano dapat natin, di ba? Stop the momentum ng kalaban. So ano kailangan natin gawin? O, one stop tayo, gawa tayo ng play. Anong position? 6. O, sinabi ko kanina. Okay? Go, one stop. One stop.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Awesome live sports viewing is guaranteed with Signal yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Switch now and get up to 3 months with no cash out. Visit www.signal.tv/switch for more details. The Foxies are out and about, taking the lead here in set 3, but Santiago sends that long.
That happened also in her first serve.
Now serving for Akari, Set Domingo.
Nine all here in set 3. Tubu inside.
And I think that's the first back row attack by Trisha Tubu here. I mean, Gretchen Solton is not being able to get that. Better production here from the wing spikers of the Foxies. More urgency, more smiles as well.
That was checked. Foxies keep it alive. Arroyo will score once again.
Arroyo, I mean, she had a breakthrough match against Capital One. Really taking on this opportunity from Coach Jerry. The block a little bit late from Akari.
Two-point lead for the Foxies. Sharma, nalunod.
The miscues are now coming out on the side of the Akari Chargers. This is a test. I mean, it's a mental game. Volleyball is a mental game. Can they execute this properly in 3 sets against the young team of the Farm Fresh Foxies?
Ragas. Soyud on the tip. Another one. Santiago gets a touch. Tubu from the back. Oh! Tagsip unable to get that up.
Yep. We have a double substitution. Fields it in now. I mean, for sure, Mama D is fired up. She hasn't played the first 2 sets.
She's waiting,
Yeah,
right?
she's
She was waiting.
for this moment, yep.
Jaja Maraginot also on the floor. But the energy, the momentum definitely is on the side of the Foxies.
Right.
Their body language has changed tremendously.
I said,
Raagas. So it goes down.
I mean, Jaja and Raagas have been playing ever since Ateneo. Jaja knows the set that Erica likes. There's a Taksip a little bit late in that block.
Akari just down by a point. Romero again to Arroyo.
And that was against Mama D and Fifi Sharma. Powering through that block of Akari.
Maraginot upset to Santiago Manabat.
Ooh, and that touch.
Unfortunate because Lazo
Yep.
was able to pop it up.
But that swing from Mama D.
That swing was worth 2 sets
Yeah.
of waiting.
I saw her warming up on the sideline. She's like, I'm ready to go in, coach. Coach, put me in.
Arroyo. Kept alive by Akari. Pineda sends it over. Credit that as well to Maraguinot. Tubu.
Combination play ran by Louis Romero. I mean, this is the Farm Fresh Foxies that we know and love. I mean, Fifi Sharma completely stunned in that sequence.
14-12 is the score. Maraguinot back to Santiago Manabat. And she delivers her first point.
And there's benefits coming in as a double sub, Jaja and Mama D, because the first two sets, you're watching from the outside and you're having that different perspective, and now trying to help your team because there's a lack of communication because it's on the side of the Foxies.
Romero to Santiago and that cross-court kill.
Smart play by Kate. Usually after the middle serves, the wing spikers target the middle blocker because defense is not the strongest skill set, I would say, from the middle blockers.
15 serving 13.
Nice serve.
Picked up. Oh, and Soltones on the regalo.
That was a crucial error on the side of the Foxies. Tagsip with that overpass. But Erica Raga is taking advantage. Oh, Soltones rather taking advantage of that overpass. Nice serve.
Romero, tough set to Tubu, but she makes it work.
Reverse set by Louis Romero.
And we get to the second technical timeout. Guess who's first to the 16-point mark? It's Farm Fresh, up by 2. RPTV na ang official at exclusive na channel ng Pambansang Liga ng Bayan on free-to-air. Sabay-sabay nating subaybayan ang PBA Season 48 Philippine Cup. All games live dito sa RPTV para sa Pinoy. Trisha Tubu serving for Farm Fresh. They're up by 2 points. The dive by Arroyo. Oh, she gets that one again. Chance here for Akari to Domingo. Down the middle.
A quick attack by said Domingo. Jaja knew that the block was late in that sequence. Kate, Luisa Cruz, no closing that block.
Serving for the Chargers, Soltones.
Soltones, that's inside. And it's an ace for Soltones.
The score is tied at 16.
$16 all here in set number 3. Romero. Miscommunication. It turns into a free ball. Naibalik yung atake ni Domingo. Raagas. Arroyo has been playing good defense from the back. So is Pineda. And it's still alive. Louis to Kate on the adjustment. Had to extend.
Right. A misset by Louis Romero. Kate having to adjust. The ball was going outside. A little hesitation from Bang in that sequence.
1-point game. Ragas has been checked as of late. Romero to Arroyo, and down it goes.
Chinny Arroyo maximizing her strengths here and tooling the block of the Akari Chargers. They can't seem to block her or even dig her attack.
6 points now for her, 4 coming from this set, Jamie. And starters of Akari will check back in, Soyud and Cobb, after that breather. Two-point lead for the Foxies. Cobb to Soyud.
Wow.
And that's into the stands.
I gotta give kudos to the vet spikers here of Akari. Elisoyud, Gretchen Sotones. Using their smarts, their experience, in helping their squad.
They cut the lead down to just 1. Delerio on that first ball. Romero to Arroyo again. She is on fire this set 3.
Yeah, she does have the hot hands. And mind you, she did not even play in the second set, but taking this opportunity. I mean, the leap, the power in her attack. Too strong for Akari.
They haven't solved the attacks of Arroyo. Back with the white shirts. Cobb transfers to Ragas. And Erica scores.
Saw a slow start, actually, on the side of Akari in this third set, but Ragas finding that hole in that block.
And she reaches the double-digit mark now with 10 points.
And she didn't even start or play in the first 2 matches.
Back to Arroyo. Romero recognizing that Arroyo is unstoppable at the moment.
Arroyo being a lethal weapon here in this third set. Can't seem to dig or block.
Sharma.
Wow.
Wow. Jinx.
Kipi Sharma going for that running attack, cross-court attack. Also, kudos to Michelle Cobb as well, activating her middles and really allowing her spikers to shine.
Chargers staying within distance, putting on the pressure against the Foxies. And the block once again for Michelle Cobb.
Solo block by Michelle Cobb on this combination play.
Oh, you have to watch Michelle Cobb and her timing.
Right.
And a free point. Easy over. Sharma getting to that one, and the lead swings back to Akari. Farm Fresh will talk things over.
Okay.
Palo ng palo.
Yo.
Kalma lang. Isa lang yan, be. Yabas.
Hadi tena. Hadi tena. Sabi sa ship.
Tayo. No net, no net.
Okay, nice.
Isa.
A timeout called there by the Foxies. They don't want their efforts to go to waste. Bang Pineda with 19 excellent digs and 9 excellent receptions. She has been on point. Romero chooses Tubu. Back with the orange shirts. Arroyo.
No check.
Yeah. They only have 1 challenge left in this set. They have to use it wisely.
Gotta use it now.
They
From my perspective, it looked like the attack of Arroyo did not go over the net.
Wala, no? No blockers touched that.
And Akari reacted right away, so...
And this will be huge, Jamie, because if this is unsuccessful, Akari, all of a sudden, after playing catch-up, are now up by 2 points, will be up by 2 points.
This is what we were saying earlier. When you compare the maturity of both squads, this is where the maturity comes in for Akari.
Yeah.
Block. Point goes to Farm Fresh. The reach of Michelle Cobb is just too high.
I know. I was about to say.
Too skillful in the blocking.
And guess what? We have a tied ball game at 21 all.
I serve.
Cobb with a 1-2. Kept alive by Farm Fresh. Boy pa. Sharma. Oh. Romero caught flat-footed.
Yep. No anticipation in that sequence by Fifi Sharma. But Michelle Cobb, knowing who to set and the timing as well. That's a difference compared to her first 2 matches.
22-21, Sharma on deck to serve.
Nice serve.
Naiangat pa rin ng Foxies. Back with the white shirts. Here comes Soltones.
What a dig.
What a dig by Delerio, but an error afterwards for Farm Fresh.
Timeout, Farm Fresh.
And they call for this timeout.
Concentrate to the 1 point. After, consider again. Okay, now 1 point. Concentrate. Good. Don't worry, don't worry.
40, 40. 35. Hey, what
Dip, this is where the mental toughness comes in. Not only on Akari, but for the Foxies who want to extend this match. But this is where, I said this earlier, where the maturity comes in, the experience and all the learnings. This is where it comes to now, crunch time.
These two young teams have only faced each other once in the history of PVL. Farm Fresh, a newcomer. They faced each other last conference, where Akari won in 4 sets. Tubu sent back. It ricochets off of her on the block of Soltones.
Much improvement on the blocking department of the Akari Chargers.
And just like that, Akari is at match point. Sharma will serve. Good first ball. Romero goes to Santiago. Keeps the team alive.
Yep, it's not over yet. Kate going for that down the line, powering through that block. Perfect receive by Arroyo.
For Jamie, it has to be flawless for Farm Fresh.
Right.
April Tagsip. She will be tested. 22 serving 24. 1 match point saved. Cobb. Soltones. Picked up by Tagsip. Tubu. Dug up by Ragas. Soyud from the back. Go! Misread by Arroyo. And the Akari Chargers get their first win of the All-Filipino Conference.
Team effort for the Akari Chargers. Everyone who was fielded in made an impact.
And Erica Raagas, the game changer. We talked about her, Jamie. Wasn't there in the first 2 games. And on the third one, right on cue, delivers for the Akari Chargers. We'll be back to wrap this one up after this break. And our very own Lexi Rodriguez is with Michelle Cobb, the player of the game. Go ahead, Lexi.
Thanks, Div. I'm with the best player of the game, Michelle Cobb, the team captain of the Akari Chargers, with 16 excellent sets. Now we've got them cheering at the background. But Mitch, I've got to ask this. Of course, the 3 game setters, how does the energy of 3-setter games differ from other matches? And how do you think does it affect your performance?
I think definitely winning 3-setter games, it's more fulfilling kasi kumbaga quote-unquote natapos namin agad and we did our job agad-agad and we were able to do it now and we were able to perform as a team. So very fulfilling, yeah.
Now, you mentioned that this is very much fulfilling for the team, for you as a team captain as well. Do you think there's any particular department in this performance that you think deserves more recognition?
I think it's overall effort naman kasi slowly we're building, you know, the composition and how we work in the team despite the strengths and the weaknesses. So definitely I'll give it to my teammates kasi full effort kami today and we have a common goal which yun nga na-attain namin by the end of the game.
Now, is there anyone you'd like to greet, your family or your friends?
I'd like to greet my mom and my dad and my sister and my teammates and my boyfriend Vito and of course Akari management. Sir Chris, this is for you. Ma'am Sha, all the Akari supporters, maraming salamat po and we'll see you in our next games. Thank you.
Thanks, Mitch. Congratulations to the rest of the Akari Chargers. And let's turn it back to you, Dip and Jamie, to wrap this up.
Thank you, Lexi. There you have it, our player of the game, Michelle Cobb. 16 excellent sets, and aside from that, Jamie, getting those blocks you mentioned,
Right.
the timing is impeccable.
That's right. I mean, Michelle Cobb mentioned effort, and effort was shown especially in this match today against the Farm Fresh Foxies. More urgency, and a lot of the points that they got were well earned. A team effort, I would say. Now for the Foxies, they have to go back to the drawing board. They have to work on their receive. That is something that was unstable in this entire match, but it's early on. We said this earlier. It's a single round robin. Anything could happen.
We talked about it. Yeah, you're right, Jamie. For Farm Fresh, could have gone the distance if they played the same way and they played in set 3. Could have put more pressure on Akari. But you also said that it's where Akari is. They have the more experience compared to the younger Foxies.
That's right. They have more maturity, but this is all learnings here. It's a learning curve for the Farm Fresh Foxies. I mean, the level of play in the PVL has definitely elevated, especially with this conference. As we see the match stats on your screens, 75 against 56. Now, take a look at the attacks here. 47 on the side of Akari and 33 on the side of the Farm Fresh Foxies. 11 blocks of Akari and 3 on the side of the Farm Fresh Foxies. It was really a block party on the side of Akari, thanks to Fifi Sharma, Seth Domingo, Gretchen Sotones, and also Ellie Soyud, who started in this match today.
Right, everyone contributing for the Akari Chargers. Our games continue on Thursday. Still here in the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig City. Galleries Tower High Risers face the Creamline Cool Smashers at 4 p.m. And then afterwards, it's the Next Lit Chameleons going up against the Signal HD Spikers. And that does it for our coverage this Tuesday doubleheader. On behalf of our director, Marvin Chavez, our courtside reporter, Lexi Rodriguez, and my partner, Jamie La Victoria, my name is Dip Bianco saying thank you for watching the Premier Volleyball League. This is the heart of volleyball.